Thank you so much. Thank you. Program directors, our two lovely ladies who are leading us today. The Vice Chancellor of the University of South Africa, my alma mater, where I was educated. Thank you. Members of the Eminent Persons Group, and specifically the co-chairs, Professor Tinyiko Maluleke and Mr. Ruth Mayer, and all the other EPG members, whose names I will want to outline towards the end of my input. Distinguished guests, I also want to greet the Speaker of our National Assembly, Joko Didiza. I heard word that the Chief Justice, Mandisa Maya, might be here, and I greet her. She is here. I greet ministers, deputy ministers. I'd like to greet members of parliament, representatives and leaders of civil society, traditional leaders who are here amongst us, faith-based organizations, leaders, and I welcome back to those who are here within us, who are eminent leaders of various faith-based organizations, business and labor leaders, youth and women's movement, leaders and representatives of political parties, esteemed guests, and most importantly, my fellow South Africans. I'd like to welcome you all to this historic gathering. I have called this first national convention in my capacity as your president, as the head of state. I do so in line with Section 83 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. This gives me a locus standi. For all of us who are here, we are all equal. But it gives me locus standi because I happen to be the state president. So Section 83 of our Constitution requires that the President, as the head of state and the head of the National Executive, should promote the unity of the nation and that which will advance the Republic of South Africa and its people. This is what brings me here. And this is why I invited all of you to be here and to be part of this dialogue. So it is with that authority, if anyone were to ask you. I should thank everyone who is here today for accepting this invitation. I am truly humbled and very touched that all of you have heeded this invitation and have come through to this meeting so that we can have a dialogue. You have traveled from many parts of our country, in fact from all parts of our country, to be here. This is a true honor to me as your president. It is a true honor to all of us, to each one of us. We should feel honored. Today marks the first sitting of the National Convention of the National Dialogue, a space where we confront our realities openly, respectfully and constructively. This is not a partisan platform. This is a national platform. Here, no voice is too small. No perspective is too inconvenient to be heard. We are gathered to listen to each other, to understand one another, and to chart a common path forward for our country. We are meeting at a time of profound challenges that confront our country and our people. Economic hardships that our people are living under, unemployment that continues to rise, inequality that besets our people, growing poverty, and a crisis of confidence in our institutions. We also meet at a time when the world is rapidly changing, and our own ability to adapt and renew ourselves will define the next generation. But history teaches us that nations are not defined solely by their difficulties. Nations are defined by how they respond to the challenges that confront them. Our own struggle for freedom from the nightmare of apartheid proved that unity in diversity is not an abstract slogan. History teaches us that unity is a powerful force for change, for transformation. Gathered in this hall today are people from all across our land. People from all walks of life, people of all races, of all classes, all languages and cultures. Gathered here at this National Convention are farmers, are informal traders, civic activists, policymakers, traditional leaders, waste pickers, industrial workers, the unemployed men and women of our country, the unemployed young people, unemployed graduates, eminent religious leaders, business people, and public servants like me. There are also young people and older people like me, men and women, people from informal settlements and rural villages. There are people with disabilities amongst us. There are survivors of various forms of violence. There are artists, there are sports people and cultural activists. In this National Convention is gathered the rich diversity of the people of this country. Yet, although we are different in many ways, although we represent different experiences and memories and hold different views, there is one thing that we have in common. And that one thing that we have in common is that we are South Africans. We are, each one of us, sons and daughters of the same soil, the South African soil. we share a common past, but we also share a common destiny. We share the same inheritance of division, of inequality, of pain, and of injustice. We share the same pride at ending the crime of apartheid and establishing a constitutional democracy. We also share a common future. That future binds us together. And that is why we have chosen to gather here today. Because each one of us, regardless of our differences, is committed to working together to build this future that we all dream of. We have chosen to be here, voluntarily chosen that we will gather here as South Africans. We've chosen to be here because we believe in the power of dialogue and united action. And dialogue, by the way, is not a new phenomenon amongst us as South Africans. We have always dialogued to solve the most intractable problems that have confronted our country. We gathered together, and let me add that even as dialogues have happened in our country, there have been moments where others chose not to participate. There have been moments when others said, no, what is this all about? We are not going to be part of it. Now I will tell you a story which I hope will not embarrass one of those who told me the other time, and is the leader of the Pan-Africanist Congress. He's here. He serves in my cabinet. And as we were preparing for the dialogue, he said to me, President, we as the Pan-Africanist Congress, we have always historically refused to participate in various dialogues. We were not there in Kliptown. They call it Kliptown, where the Freedom Charter was drafted. We were not there when there was a dialogue to end violence in our country. We were not there when the Constitution was drafted, when there was that broad dialogue. And he said, we feel that our voice, our views were not heard. And he said, this time round, we are going to participate. So there are those who are standing outside, who are saying we are not going to participate. And we grant them that freedom. But one day, they will be like the PAC. They will realize that they should have been part of the dialogue. Because the dialogue is about bringing people together, getting all of us to speak together, not to speak at each other, and not to talk away from each other.